What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chillin' with Rick, the People Show. Without you guys, I'd be nothing. How are you? Alright, here's what I want you guys to do. Whenever there's an episode, share it, comment, join my page if you're new, like it. That's all you gotta do. Help support Chillin', bringing you guys top-notch entertainment. Now, let's get to my sponsors. We're going to start off on Hi-Fi. Hi-Fi, a vintage stereo shop in Syracuse, is home of all your vintage stereo gear from the best era, the 60s, 70s, and 80s. The best gear. What musician out there is going to argue with me on that? Come on. And they buy, sell, trade, and repair the systems you remember from that era. And now all you musicians listen to this part. They repair your guitar amps. Yes, they do. Because I know some of you guys blow them out. I've seen it. So, go to Hi-Fi and get the gear that your music was meant to be listened to on. And my buddy Bill Mosher and his work partner, I don't know his name. Bill Mosher's one of the two lead singers of the Horn Dogs. He owns that. Go see him. They have albums there too, vintage albums. Definitely go check out Hi-Fi. Now we're going to go to the Med Spot. You ready? We're going to Rome, New York. The Med Spot is located at 110 West Thomas Road in Rome, New York. The phone number is 315-930-3800 or the med-spot.com. The Med Spa is an upscale, trendy medical spa that addresses all your aesthetics and wellness needs. If you happen to go there, tell Corey and Rachel Corbin, Chillin' sent you. Big Earl Stump Removal. Now before you guys go, gotta add the area code nowadays. Hi, is this Big? He'll be like, what? His real name is Jason. It's Jason Earl. So if you call Jason Earl at 315-363-5217 to get that pesky stump removed, don't say, hi, is this Big? Jason Earl. Now, he's done work for us here since we lived here, the 2 whole years that we lived here. He's took down 2 trees for us. He's grinded the stump right down to nothing. And you could plant something else there if you didn't want that pesky tree there. So, get a hold of Big Earl, 315-363-5217. Tell him Chillin' sent you. Ryder, the band Ryder. Who out there doesn't love Daryl White? Come on, he's a hugger. He came here one of his 19 interviews. He hugged me 4 times. He was only here for 2.5 minutes at that point. He's a hugger. So if you guys want to go see a killer rock band and have Daryl hit them notes like only the 80 singers can hit, definitely go check out Ryder. Get yourself a Ryder t-shirt too. I think they have them for sale out there. So go tell Daryl White, Chillin' sent you. He'll get an extra hug, I guarantee it. He's one of my best friends. Now we're going to go to Oneida Carpets. Oneida Carpets is located at 174 Madison Street, owned and operated by Lynn and Scott White. Phone number is 315-361-9800 or oneidacarpets.com. The carpets are installed by true professionals at a very fair price. Tell Lynn Chillin' sent you. Now, Lynn's done work for me and my dad before. He laid a rug for us, and it turned out phenomenal. He uses all top-notch equipment, measures right to the exact centimeter, and everything's good. And Lynn is also the lead singer of Before August, another killer band that you should probably go see. If you're out supporting Ryder, go support Before August. If you happen to be in the same area, just support local music altogether, guys. Not a hard concept. Go support local music. It's very, very important. And I'm bringing you guys a lot of top names this year. So, go check out Before August. I gotta go get my next guest. Hey, I'm over here. Hey! What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chillin' with Rick, the People Show. Without the people, I would be nothing, Joe.
Good to see you, partner.
Good to see you.
I know, it's been a while.
I'm here with a local legend, an icon. He has his own day in Utica. It should be 365 days and the leap year day.
There you
Should
go.
be your day.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
How are you, brother?
Good, good. It's been a while, man.
Yeah,
I know. You see, you're so booked up. You get so booked up.
I do.
And I mean, the first year I came out twice.
Yeah.
But it caught on.
It did.
God bless you, man. So first of all, how are you feeling?
Well, to my audience, I got diagnosed today with moderate to severe COPD. Never smoked a day in my fucking life.
That's crazy. That's crazy, because I got mild COPD.
Yeah.
They probably call it moderate, but I did smoke.
Yeah.
You know, so, all right, well.
I'm on a thing called a Trelegy inhaler.
Oh, that's good.
Take that once a day, and that should take away the mucus and the cough.
Good.
And I'll be good to go.
Well, perfect. There you go.
Today was my first shot. You can hear it. So,
And you know what? I mean, the doctor probably told you this, but get out and take a little walk every night.
yeah.
Walk a little bit.
Yep.
You know, walk and get that little exercise in, build your lungs up.
Yes.
All right.
I got to do it, man.
So now that I've diagnosed that,
Thanks for the concern, by the way.
I'm telling you, man.
You're a
Sure.
friend of mine, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what else is new? Hey, you're interviewing me. I'm not going to ask you questions.
Please go back and forth. I enjoy that, actually. So I'm only doing like 10 episodes this year. Last year I overbooked.
You did a ton last year,
I did
yeah.
a ton last year, man.
I like the guys coming over and playing, though. That's a cool
That's
little
going to come
thing.
back in the fall, and I'm going to go live for that.
Oh, good.
I'm only going pre-record now because I miss my theme music. And I'm not going to sit here and read sponsors while you're sitting there.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
So I decided to go back to pre-record.
All right.
Yeah. And I'm in neon now.
You got a nice neon. I like that.
$20 on Amazon.
Well, there you go.
They specially made it for Word Chillin'.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing like yours, but hey.
Well, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Genesee Joe.
Yep. So, there's a lot going on, actually, and I appreciate you letting me come on. First of all,
Please promote what you
when will this air?
Tonight sometime.
Okay, good. Well, right now, the drive is in the middle of our like literally in the middle. Tomorrow is the M's, our A to Z music marathon.
Okay.
We play all of our songs alphabetically by title.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's nothing we invented,
Yeah.
but it's a great thing, and nobody else would do it anymore. So we picked it up and did it at Christmas time, and now we're doing it again. Now we started Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
And it's great because we do play all the stuff we normally play, and all the big hit songs, and then all the extra songs, and the songs that like are there, and we can play them if somebody calls in and asks for them.
Yeah.
And it's nice, and it's a nice break because it's kind of like a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Because it does break up what we normally play.
Yeah.
And it takes about 10 days. We started Friday, and this one's going to end, I think, on Monday.
Okay.
So it goes a long ways. But it's a lot of fun, and Jeff Moyer, TMS, Trailer Marketing Services, sponsored it, and Bobby Markison and Jim Fitzgerald up there at Piggy Pat's.
Yes.
So it was kind of cool, it picked up. Last time around we did it. This time people sponsored it, so. But it's a lot of fun, and I love playing that stuff.
How many albums do you have collecting dust that you normally don't play in the rotation?
Well, the main thing with most radio stations, corporate stations, is this.
Yeah.
They have a very long list of songs you better not ever play or someone's getting fired.
Oh, wow.
We don't have that long list.
Good.
We play all the normal stuff, and we got all this other shit that we can throw it in if it applies to something that happened in that day in history, if somebody calls in for it. If one of our DJs just says, I don't want to fucking play Aqualung. I'm going to play, Too Old to Rock and Roll this time.
Yeah.
Everybody on the air, Barbecue Bob, Lady Di, the Dr. Jerry Krause, he picks every song he plays.
Yeah.
Matt McMullen. These guys all know the stuff well enough where I trust them. I told them, if you're going to substitute, here's where you put it.
Yep.
I told them a few of the little rules that I have, and I know that they're good with it. You know what I mean? And they are good with it. So we do have our log with all our music, but our DJs can pick their own songs. They can pick some of their own songs, a bunch of their own songs.
Yeah.
Barbecue Bob and Lady Di, sometimes I go, well, what the fuck? But it's good. When I listen, it's good. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yep.
But hey, she don't listen to me at home, so I should listen to me at work.
Amen, brother. You just met mine. She sits out there and scrolls on her phone. Hey, this is Joe. Hey, that's how you're going to get out of her. So you don't pick your own songs, you just go with the flow?
Oh, no, I do whatever I want. I'm the boss.
That's right.
Oh, shit, yeah. It's just funnier when I say that they do it.
He owns, no, he does not.
No, I don't. No, that I don't do, though. I don't own it. That's Mindy Barstein.
Yeah.
But, it's just funnier when I say they do whatever they want. But, I totally do whatever I want.
You've been there 9 years now, right?
No, I've been there 11 years. I started there in 2013.
I lost 2 years somehow, Joe.
Yeah, no, because you know why? I went there in March of 2013, and now I'm going to ask, now it's 2024.
Yeah.
That is 11, right?
Yeah.
I'm a radio guy, not a math guy. Yeah. But no, it's been 11 years, and it's crazy because it still feels very new.
Yeah.
You know?
You feel like you have to be sitting behind that mic every day, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do, man.
It's in you. I know it's in you.
Oh, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
And coming up in July, I'm hitting 32 years.
32.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 29.
I know. I know.
We've been hanging around for a few years.
We really have, Rick.
I
remember coming out the first time.
I was a nervous wreck.
Was over at the apartment building, though. You didn't even own this house.
No, not yet.
Yep.
It was in the works. No, and it wasn't in the works back then. But yeah, I was a nervous wreck. You brought me a 92.7 drive shirt.
Yeah.
I have no clue where that is, by the way.
It's all right. I'm glad I found mine. But
I lost a lot of shit in the move, and I owe you a chillin' shirt. I got one now. It just says the word chillin', and it's in death metal.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let me lose a little more weight again, because I have just totally just puffed right up.
I know your size. You're good.
Yep. So one of the other cool things, besides, like I said, the station sounded good. I got to give a shout out to Matt McMullen.
Please do.
Now, here's the thing.
Matt McMullen?
Yeah. No, here's the cool thing. He started working with us back in the early spring. But many years ago, back in 92, I started right after college got out, and he started right about when school let out for high school.
Yeah.
I forgot. He was just barely 16.
Oh, wow.
And we were doing something called call-out research, where we would, call people, say, do you like this song? And play them a little clip and all that shit. Now, that stuff no one does anymore. You can't do it anymore with caller ID and all that.
Yeah.
They never will. And it was back at the other station, and we called it Empire Research.
Yeah.
And all, and so that was good, though, because it told you on a weekly basis what people thought of the new songs and the old songs you're playing. So then Matt started out with us then, and then I got on the air, then he got on the air.
Remember the old days when you used to call people, hey, what do you think of this song?
Yeah.
You did that, right?
Yeah, that's how I started. That's how we both started. But, me and Matt learned how to do things in radio the right way from guys who really knew how to do it, the Tom Stars and the Allisons and Jerry Krauses and, Hirsch and Nelsons. And so then he worked there. He went to college, but he still came home and did shows on weekends and worked there until, I want to say, 98 or 97 or 98, and then moved out west.
Yeah.
Moved back, moved to the Midwest, moved back, wasn't in radio. And he was back, and he was managing Chester's Flower Shop.
Okay.
So I was having him come in and cut some commercials because he said he wanted to do something. And that got the ball rolling. And then finally this spring the time was right. But bringing him on, it's just great. He is a professional. He has managed places. He knows how things got to be done. He sounds great. He's Felix. I'm Oscar. We share an office. It's crazy. But it's been like a cakewalk since he came on.
Yeah.
And so it's cool, though, because like I said, I don't have to explain the idiosyncrasies of how radio should go and presentation and context, because we all learned that at the same time. Mm-hmm. So now he came in, and it was like a seamless transition from Todd, who did great at what he did, but Todd moved on. Funny story.
I love stories.
Back in December, Todd put his notice in, and the owner says, Todd just put his notice in.
Uh-oh.
He says this December, he's going to grow weed with some guy. And I thought, it's the middle of winter. What do you mean you're going to grow weed? Let me talk to him. Well, he left to go work for the Turning Stones new enterprise. And as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, that's quite different.
Yeah.
Did they meet anyone else?
Do you partake in this stuff, Joe?
I don't.
Okay.
You know what? All right. So anyway, so Todd, God bless him, and he still cuts commercials for us, and comes to stuff when he can.
Yeah.
But it was good. It went from one guy who really knew what he was doing to another guy who really knew what he was doing. So it was seamless.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then funny thing about weed, and I'm going to use this. I saw it on a Facebook post today, but it says, name something that other people think is important and you don't. Believe it or not, I just don't care about weed.
Yeah.
I just don't. I used to smoke a ton of weed.
I thought you did.
For fuck's sake, it didn't even stop there. If Z and Justin were here, they'd be ringing the bell. I mean, I believe me, I live the rock star lifestyle. You know what I mean? I'm on 4. Yeah. Z, Justin Smithson, that's 4.
To carry on Z's tradition, I'm keeping track.
Okay. So, but I was never a teetotaler. Don't get me wrong. But, and I always said they ought to legalize weed and they ought to, but now it's like, I could give a shit.
Yeah.
The whole world smells like weed.
Yep.
And my one thing that I've said before is, it's not so bad now, but in the winter, if you grow a bunch of plants in your house, ladies and gentlemen of Central New York, you got to throw those goddamn jackets in the washing machine.
That's right.
Because it ain't just the smell of the weed, but it's that. Yeah, man, it's like, and then you can smell the dirt, and you can smell the grow room out of it. It's like, hey.
Yep.
A little morning Febreze. Smoke it up, do your thing, but you're fucking up everybody else's environment.
I love you, Joe.
That's 5. It's 5. No, you know what I mean? Like, people say, well, why would you infringe upon my right to smoke? No, no one wants to do that. Yeah. That's legal, and it should have been. But at the same time, you're infringing on everybody else's environment because, holy shit, pal.
Yeah. You stink.
Yeah.
Is there a skunk's ass in that son of a bitch? Or what?
I know. What'd you do? Set the skunk on fire? What the fuck? 6.
Oh my God! Here I go. I'm gonna start coughing. So it was an omen that you're here today. My wife is out there working in the flower bed. She goes, "Come here." I go, "What?" She goes, "Slugs."
There you go.
That's Joe's band name, the Slug.
Yeah.
I go, because he just happened to be drunk one morning. He was recovering or whatever. You
remember that story?
There's a Slug, so they named the band Slug.
Yep. We started out on Friday night with rehearsal. It turned into a party that ended on Sunday. And when Fletcher looked for his guitar case, he picked it up. It was covered in slugs, and we'd kicked around 100 names.
Yep.
I know Tim Neuer knows this, but it was Gridley Spears. And Brittany Page.
Yep.
But no, and slug is how it was.
Yeah.
And so we're kicking around a lot of ideas. He's another one. He's got a little bit of health problems right now. He's in the same boat with us.
I get you.
The COPD club.
Yeah.
But he's working on a bunch of new songs. We may cut a record.
That's cool.
Of course, I want to play live shows every couple of weeks.
What is the deal with Slug? What are you guys on?
We're waiting.
We're just waiting.
We're fucking waiting. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times he said fuck. Blah, 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 blah. 8.
I'm laughing pretty good without coughing. Thank you.
I'm trying to not make you cough.
Couple days, hopefully this will all.
That poor lady that owns the station, she's had COVID 4 times. This time it gave her pneumonia. She was out again all last week, and oh my God, she gets coughing. But same thing, she's on medications and she's doing better. So
God bless the inhalers, man.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So my buddy Kurt, shout out to Kurt, I love you, brother. He's a mentor of mine, not only one of my best friends, but a mentor. And I was trying to tell him your story, and he wants to know basically how you got started in the business. I said he didn't want to be a DJ originally; he wanted to be a carpenter.
Yeah.
And I, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm most likely wrong. I'm trying to remember. You were interning or somewhere. You were working at some radio station. You wanted to be kind of like hooking things up.
No, I will straighten out. First of all, I was a carpenter, so I was much like Jesus.
Yeah.
Had the hair and everything.
Yes.
No, we were building a recording studio.
There you go.
And the guy that came in to wire all the boards up and stuff was a guy named Mark Kachi, and I was dying to get involved with music somehow.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'll learn how to run those boards and do sound. So he said, well, he went to Herkimer College, and that's where he learned how to do it. Then I went there, thinking I'm just going to learn how to run audio boards, but I got a shift on the radio station there, and I knew I had a knack for it.
Yeah.
And there you go.
There you go. The
So
rest
there.
is history.
Yeah, well, I discovered I had a knack for it, I should say.
Yeah.
So.
Because he was asking, I was like, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, so that's how it all
So
started
many
out.
stories, I can't remember all of them.
I'm glad you can't remember them all, because I've given you some doozies.
Remember finding that glove out in the parking lot?
Yes.
You had
Oh
that
my
for, what,
God.
10 years?
Yeah. Way back in the day, now that Rick brought this up.
Yes.
Middle of the night, Mayro building.
Yeah.
We're working, and there was always crazy stuff going on downtown late at night, but this one was particularly crazy. I hear yelling.
Yeah.
And it is like two business people in a car, and a truck's next to them, a pickup truck pulled into the Savings Bank parking lot, and the guy's yelling at the lady, and obviously he just caught his whoever, wife or girlfriend, with somebody else late at night in the car.
Yeah.
So the other guy gets out of the car, out of the passenger side, and just walks away. Just walks away down to Genesee Street. But something fell out of the car, so her and him yell at each other for a little while more, pull away. I see this black object on the thing, and I go, ooh, it's her underpants. But it wasn't. It was a really nice pair of driving gloves.
Yeah.
And so I remember going down and getting it as soon as Hershey and Nelson got there and got started. I told them on the air, then ran downstairs, picked them up. It wasn't underpants, which I was really hoping it was. That would have made it funny. But it was these great, like, calfskin black driving gloves, and they fit.
Yeah.
And you must have quit, because I kept those fucking things for years. I don't know where they went, but that was that, man. And that had to be 95.
Yeah.
You know? But there was always crazy stuff. There was always, like, wonderfully,
You
know.
overnight, right?
Overnight, yeah. Doing overnights.
The guy from Oneida called.
That guy that was the poet, yeah. He was from up here somewhere.
Poet.
God, he would call all night long.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody even knows who he was.
Yeah. That doesn't happen anymore. Like, do people still call?
We got some nuts. We got some wonderful nuts. They're not, they're harmless. We got some wonderful kooks. Since Matt has started working, get a lot of people calling. Our buddy Tony down in Herkimer, give a shout out to him. Joanne. And then we've had some people just stop up to say hi, which is interesting, because for years no one did. I didn't really think anybody knew where we are in the Brock building. But I ain't going to say exactly where.
Mind if I pop up, Joe?
You can always pop up. But yeah, but it's not like it was in the day. There was a cast of characters that would call all night long, and everybody who did overnights would record these guys and play them back, you know.
Sounds fun.
But the poet was an interesting guy. He would call maybe 10 times a night. And in 6 hours, I mean, that's a lot of calls. And you'd pick the phone up, and he would already be in the middle of one of his poems.
He would already be in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then some nights, you know, you could get him to stop and talk, but he was a character. I have no idea who he was, but I knew that he lived in Oneida, and somebody told me at one time, and like I said, this is back in early and mid-90s.
Yeah.
Somebody said he worked at Price Chopper. He might have alluded to the fact that, but for all we know, he was just a spirit voice somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, we had another kid that called up that thought that Saturday Night Live, and this is nothing I'm laughing at, because looking back, it's unfortunately mental illness. Not so much with the poet, I don't think. I think he was just an old hippie or something. But this kid, you know, thought that he could leave his phone off the hook.
Yeah.
And if for some reason he left the phone off the hook, he was screaming and yelling about something, and he thought that Saturday Night Live was making fun of him.
Yeah.
And then he thought the lady from one of the TV shows was in love with him.
Oh, boy.
And he disappeared, and we've talked about him recently, and kind of we're concerned. It's like, I know it was years ago, but he said he was going out to Hollywood to meet this actress, and like, I think he painted his mother's house to get money, and he took off, and we never heard from him again.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I know you miss him.
You know what? There is a slight bit of concern. It's like, holy shit, I hope he didn't go out there and die or something.
You
You
want
know?
the final chapter? Like, where did you go?
No, we don't want the final chapter, because I'd really...
The missing chapter.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no, that would be one to search out. But other than that...
Yeah.
So
You had a lot of fun.
I have had a lot of fun. I definitely, people say they feel blessed, and I know what they mean.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I've had a great run in radio, and it's continuing on.
Yep. You have 40 years going on.
Yeah, just a long, strange trip, man. You know, to quote.
Yeah.
And then the bands have been great. Thunderwatt and Slug mainly, and Downtown, and you know.
I still forgot to have you bring your harmonica. You still haven't played on my show yet.
I thought I did the first time, but I don't remember. No,
you didn't.
You know what sucks? I haven't really played in a long, long time now.
Well, that's a good thing then, because you might be a hint rusty.
Hey, a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I miss doing gigs, but.
Can you still jam out a song if you had it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
which leads in a perfect segue, as per a good host, to the Mohawk Valley Blues Society.
Yes.
Now, we have our open jams every second Wednesday of the month at Piggy
Are you on the
Pits.
board of something like that?
I'm the president of the board of that. Yeah, I know. El Presidente. But I've been on the board for about 5 or 6 years now. So here's the thing. Those open jams are cool, and there's a kid named Jeremy Kennedy. He's a young kid, native, and he's from out this way somewhere.
Yeah.
He is a burning guitar player.
Yep.
He's a really good, really talented guy, and I think I put him in touch with our buddy over at what the fuck is it? Nothing Fancy.
Nothing Fancy.
I am so sorry, Dave. I know that I rode by here and thought about it the whole way out here.
Dombrowski or something.
Losowski, yeah.
There you go.
I think they're going to be doing a gig. The name of his band is Rattlesnake Trio. But young kid, still I think in high school, wicked guitar player. He comes to those things. Jake Lozo band, another young guy who started.
I contacted him.
Yeah, but anyway, so we do those every second Wednesday of the month.
Yeah.
So it'll be the second Wednesday in June.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun at Piggy Pats, and I play there every now and again.
Okay.
But because I'm on the board, if we have a lot of people signed up, because the host band plays an hour, then the jammers go up, and we pick people off the list, and they jam.
Yeah.
It's not open mic where bands come up and play.
Yeah.
We pick, okay, we got this guy's playing bass, this guy's playing guitar, this guy's playing guitar, this guy's a sax player, this guy's a harp player. We pull them up and they jam, and it really gets some good stuff going. Yeah. So those things are cool, and I'll play there, but if there's too many people signed up, I don't, because I don't want it to look like the guys who put this thing on play all the time. Because like Mark Sistai is a guitar player, so if there's lacking number of guitar players, a guy like that's got to go up and play a few of the jammer sets.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but that's cool. It's always cool. And we have Jason Ricci, who is a world-class harmonica player, coming in June 19th to Dave's Place, Nothing Fancy Country Rock Saloon. Okay. And that's going to be a hell of a show. And those tickets, if you go through the Mohawk Valley Blues Society Facebook page or mbblues.org, people can get them. And then finally, we have our Free Blues Picnic coming up out at Sylvan Beach again. And it is I want to say it's June 30th. And I know if when the other guys see this, they're going to go, how did you not remember the date? But it's not in August this year. It's a week prior. So,
gotcha. But
same thing, mbblues.org or the Facebook page.
Gotcha.
I'll even share it on the Chillin' page.
Please do.
So
use my page as often as you want.
Yeah, Scott Chambers, we got a good lineup for that too. So
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the Callot for a minute.
Let's talk about the Callot.
That is no more.
What happened?
They didn't want Bill there.
Basically, I know he's doing a lot of shows over at the Capitol. Ace Frehley was spectacular.
Yeah.
Angel shocked the shit out of me how good they were.
Really?
Is a kid and a huge Kiss fan.
Yep.
Angel was, and I didn't realize this when I was 12 or 10 or whatever, but, Gene Simmons had a lot to do with those guys getting signed to Casablanca.
Yeah.
As the antithesis of Kiss. Yeah. Kiss was all in black, they were all in white.
Yes.
Kiss was Knights in Satan's Service, they were Angel.
Yes.
So at 12, I was like, bitches, you know what I mean? I gave him I laughed at him.
Yeah.
Because Kiss was the coolest thing.
Yes.
All these years later, I see Angel play, and it's like, why did I listen to this the whole time? These fucking guys were great, and they played. Punky Meadows and those guys, they played great. The guys sang great.
Yeah.
The only thing I will laugh about, though, about it was, and we'll go back to the Khaled. I digress.
Yes.
You could tell the singer was kneeling down, flipping through a page of lyrics.
Yeah.
It was like, bro, they have electronic media to do that, so you don't have to kneel down.
It's called an iPad.
Yeah, it's called an iPad. Diane even said, doesn't this guy know what iPads are?
I'm not even a musician, and I know that.
Yeah. But anyway, and so Martin Barr was great out there. It's too bad because this place was the right size for an intermediate setting.
Yeah.
But what else do you know? Gossip.
Gossip.
Tell me about it.
So anyway, Bill DiPaolo,
Yeah.
legend. he books a lot of shit, and it's all 100% going to be at Rome Capitol Theater now.
Okay.
So I guess the city wasn't happy that he was actually bringing in an audience there, and people were having a good time. Cat Stock was the last thing officially that was there, and that was a couple weekends ago.
Why would they do that?
I don't understand.
Because I don't know. I didn't go to every show, but the ones I were at was there was never any trouble, and quite honestly, it was always an older
We hung
crowd.
out one night there.
Yeah, and it was always an older crowd.
Yeah. But he was bringing in, he had the Journey tribute band there.
Yeah.
They were fucking phenomenal. I hung out with them guys in their dressing room. All great guys.
The
I
Colors
interviewed,
tribute band was fucking excellent.
Yeah, I interviewed Osmosis, them guys.
That guy
I don't know
was.
if you saw that
I
interview.
just had that shirt on yesterday. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the interview.
I
but
did.
That was a half hour long. They were all great guys.
Yeah.
The drummer of that band started when he was 9 years old.
Wow.
And the band.
Wow.
9. I was like, holy shit.
That's kind of crazy because that was really a good place to do that.
It was an awesome place, and I got in for free because of who I am.
Well, yeah, rightfully so, my brother. No shit.
yeah,
Now,
it was-
what about the guy who owns it? His name escapes me, but he was a nice guy.
Bill DiPaolo, he didn't own it.
Yeah, the other guy did.
Yeah.
Jesse.
I don't know the name.
I can't think of it. Justin. But the city of Oneida.
Yeah, now it's going to be like a gym or a recreation gym for the kids or something. But
Oh, okay, so they had another
I
plan
mean,
for
they had
it.
another plan, but I'd rather have music there. He brought it back to life for a little
There's
bit.
no reason why you can't do both.
Yeah. Joan was on the marquee.
Yeah,
last
I know.
year. Remember you did the radio ad for me?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that's really too bad.
Yeah.
That really is. Because it could have been something that brought in. It was starting to pick up as a venue where people knew to go there. We did drive Halloween parties there with the
Bill
meatloaf
was
trip.
at the point where he was actually making money. It was
Yeah.
like, come on, why the hell don't you want this here?
Yeah, really.
And he always had a pretty good house every time it was there.
Funny story is, it was actually like maybe 2 weeks before Halloween.
Yeah.
He had the meatloaf tribute there one year.
Yep.
And we billed it as a drive Halloween party, but I guess we didn't bill it that much.
Yeah.
Because the only people that showed up were me and Diane and our friend Dawn and Roseanne, who came with us. We're the only people there in costume.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, this is fucking dumb. And he was like, you guys should have told me. I would have billed it as that too. It's like, I guess maybe 2 or 3 other people did, but not enough to where it wasn't uncomfortable.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. But I remember hanging out with you that night, and you didn't know I was there. And I think it was right after your first or second interview. I go, hey, Joe, and you turn around, hey, chilling. And when we were pretty much Siamese twins. Though.
Yeah.
That was cool.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But, well, that's too bad. But he's doing some things at Capitol Theater, and they came around. Cause,
Oh, my God, that's going to be
Yep.
how they say off the chain.
yeah, he's got Striper coming in there.
Yeah.
Richard Marx.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Tim Moyer has a gig in Rome that night. He loves Richard Marx, and he can't make the show, and he's a little irate.
Richard Marx was a hit maker.
He was.
He really was. That's
I said it to my wife. I go, Richard Marx is coming. She goes, who's that? I was like, we're getting a divorce. Who is that?
I hate to say it. The only thing I could think of is it don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
But I know there were other songs he had.
Yeah.
But
No. I can't sing. I don't have the voice, or otherwise I would. So you were talking about iPads and, flipping through the pages in iPads. So I got a question for you. I actually have 6 questions for you, written by Kirk Kirkland. And I'm going to try not to read them. I'm going to try to remember my own, but that's probably not going to happen.
don't be fancy on my account.
That's right. Do you think it's harder or easier as technology progressed through the years to do your job?
Well, I'm on the air right now, but I'm sitting in your living room doing this, so it would definitely be easier. You know where that comes into play?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk about corporate radio.
Yeah.
Because, I can go off on how wrong that is. They literally turned it into a suicidal industry.
Yeah.
Because same guys who complain about how they're losing money and all this, first of all, cut your upper echelon of your companies out and keep local guys on the air. Even if you just have a couple. So, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But anyway, for stations like The Drive where we're independent, it does allow me, technology allows me to get shit done while I'm doing the show.
Yeah.
I go in and do some live breaks, then I might pre-record a couple and go out and do, go in the other room and do my other work.
Yes.
So it definitely allows it, but it has made it become much easier.
Yeah.
You also don't have to worry about, when everything's on a computer screen and running.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about, whoops, I loaded up the wrong song, or whoops, I didn't grab those CDs, all those other little mistakes.
Yeah.
One place I don't like is, and we have trouble with this, and I'll address it. We have these little 10 to 20 to 30 sometimes second dropouts. And that's all because our delivery system from the station to the transmitter is digital and internet based.
Okay.
And we can't find where along the chain those dropouts are coming from, and it happens on and off throughout the day. And you tell one company, well, we're having these dropouts, and they blame somebody else, and you go bring it up with that company. It helps with our transmission, and they say, no, it's not us, it's the internet provider. And so coming up in the next week, we have a meeting with another company. We got a Zoom-like meeting where we're going to try and nail that down and get just more of a direct path that doesn't cost $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
You
gotta save money,
Yeah, well, yeah, we got to. We're an independent station,
Yeah, if you just piss at money, here's $1,000, here's $1,000.
Yeah. So.
Who are you a fan right now, DJ wise, nationally or locally? Do you have somebody that you listen to?
No, not really.
Not really?
Matt McMullen.
There you go.
Barbecue Bob, Lady
Di.
Di.
To Genesee Joe.
No, you know what? I have friends in this business, and I do like those guys.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Dave Wheeler, friends with Gary Spears, but I don't get a chance to listen to anybody.
Yeah.
I don't have Sirius because that's fucking ridiculous. But at the same time, I see a lot of clips of Howard Stern.
What do you think of him?
Howard is still the master interviewer, and the best thing about Howard is he has reinvented himself so much from the 90s
Yes.
that, when it was the shock jock thing, and that was what he did in the late 80s and 90s, and he blew up so the whole world knew who he was, that was his one thing. And then he moved on to Sirius, and he became more of, he is one of the greatest interviewers ever.
I just watched an episode. He did the president.
Yeah.
He did Biden. I thought it was a phenomenal interview.
And when you get like a Paul McCartney or a Graham Nash or any of these big names on there, and he really, you can tell he is a fan who's interviewing them, and he's interviewing like somebody who really knows what he's talking about pertaining to that person.
Yeah.
I missed the Biden thing, though. I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Oh, phenomenal interview.
Huh.
He went through hell. I didn't know that.
Biden stay awake through the whole thing?
He did stay awake, Sleepy Joe. Not you.
No, I got to be honest with you. I'm not a political guy, but that guy seems a little tired.
Yeah.
He seems a little tired. Yeah.
But no, I've watched him interview Zeppelin. I think it was that. Yeah.
Yep.
Geez, he had a whole array of people on that I've watched.
But no, I've always appreciated his work. And when he did the America's Got Talent thing, was this great thing because here he went from the shock jock, love him or hate him, to this completely different side of him.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't time to do that shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't time for Fart Man. It wasn't time for all that stuff. And he had already done that for so long that now it was like, here's the other side of Howard Stern.
Do you think it's because he calmed down in his older age?
Yeah, everybody does, man.
Does.
Oh, shit, when I listen to those old tapes and things we used to say and do in the middle of the night, it's crazy, even the 7 to midnight shift.
Yeah.
But now it's like,
You don't have
and you know, well, you know what it is, too, and this is the truth. Nobody has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
everybody hears and reads exactly what they want to hear or read and misconstrues everything and anything, and just, you could say, I like potatoes, and somehow they'll turn it into your anti-corn.
Yes.
Or some fucked up thing like that. Yeah. 9. And it's just so ridiculous. Yeah. I'm not going to argue it out with anybody. I'm just going to...
Sometimes I'm walking on eggshells doing this.
Oh, you got to. Oh, my God.
And I'm going to get in trouble because I let the F-bomb go.
And every single person has this, like, strange ability to be very righteous when there's no reason to be that way.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing is there's just so many, once again, you could say, I love potato salad. And some guy, 9.5, I kind of slid it in there. No, some person will start to say, well, you can't have potato salad because of inflation and because of what this guy did. And because hey, your point is moot. The president and my love of potato salad in this conversation don't fucking relate.
Yes.
And you can't jam it in there with you know what I mean? Like, stop.
Yes.
You know what the worst part is?
Tell me.
And I will say this is a Chillin' with Rick exclusive.
My name's Jose. Shout out to Jose Lopez.
No, here's my thing. I hate all the political stuff because I don't like any of them.
Yeah.
And I don't like the big business and all of that shit and all this corporate stuff because they're all in cahoots.
Yeah.
The Republicans are in cahoots with this bunch and the Democrats are in cahoots with that bunch. Mm-hmm. And they're all fucking, by the time they get way up the line, you can't trust none of them, and none of them give a shit about you and me.
Right.
So that's what pisses me off. Yep. It annoys me when people have to pick a side. Mm-hmm. Don't pick a side. Nobody's working for you.
That's right.
It could all change, and your side could be in play, and you're still not going to be doing good. Even if you have an extra $25 a month, they're still going to stick it to you some way.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not a right winger. I'm not a left winger. I'm a middle of a road guy, and it stinks.
Yeah.
Do I think there's environmental stuff we could do to help? Yes. Mm-hmm. Do I think that outlawing natural gas and making everything electric is going to help? No, it can't.
Where's our plastic bags, Joe?
Well, you know what? Hold on, I'll get to that. Here's the thing. When we bought when we bought that house, we had to have $11,000 worth of electrical work done to it to get rid of the knob and tube wiring.
Yeah.
Now, this is the time of year, and in the winter, the time of year when fires start to happen, and we just had a fatality in central New York. It may have been cooking, but, people plug in an air conditioner because they want to cool off in the summer. They plug in a space heater because they're hot in the winter.
They're dangerous.
That shit can set that knob and tube off. Yep. So if everything's going to be electrical, is everything after a certain date, everything built new's got to have electric heat and all that. But you can't go to a house like this built in the 20s, or the house that I sold that was 1890, or the house that we bought that was 1920, and say that because
this is 1930.
Yeah. You can't do that with those houses without having a super amount of work done. Yeah. And if you do that, you know that everybody's going to be like, well, the price is huge.
Oh, yeah.
No one's going to be the good, no offense, but nobody's going to be the good guy that can come in and say, well, we're going to do it, there's a flat rate, because that's now the law. It's going to cost.
We redid all of the
How does it work?
All of the electrical in here. They said...
How much it cost you?
Oh, a lot.
A lot.
Thousands.
We spent $11,000.
Yeah. So he went out to the box out there, and there was, I don't know, it looks like it was a screw, and one was out, one was in. He goes, you're about a day and a half away from a house fire here. Yeah. So he just twisted that in. He goes, I don't know who worked on this last. He goes, but this was going to go up.
Well, funny story. It's my house that I sold.
Yeah.
That I lived in for a long time, right next to where I was born and raised and grew up. Was going to be closing on Tuesday. That weekend, we had that freak storm back in January where it was high winds and everything. Oh, National Grid, it was even in town. Thank God National Grid, I'll never say that. But thank God they were in town because they were driving around. And I was so tired from packing up all my shit.
Yeah.
And it, when you sell a house, you put a lot of work and time and spent a lot of time, and it's an emotional thing too.
Yes.
I was so exhausted that Saturday or Sunday night, whatever it was. It was Saturday night. I went to bed. I crashed. That storm hit. The tree out front blew down in the middle of Faxton.
Oh.
It pulled my neutral wire out.
Wow.
Now, first of all, the fire department was right out in front of my house. Like, my bed was here, and the road was right where there, like here. I mean, my bed frame was 6 feet off the fucking front lawn. I mean, off the sidewalk. I was close to the road in that house. I never heard him cutting up the tree. That's how out I was. But I had a dream that me and this kid, Mark Flagg, were riding snowmobiles down Route 12 past Riverside because we had a blizzard. I ain't been on a snowmobile in 35 years. I don't know why I dreamed that, but then I thought, well, it must have been the chainsaws running. I had a dream we were, me and the guy, because he had moved in 2 doors down. And so then I wake up to somebody banging on the door and banging on the side of the house, and it's National Grid. And they said, your neutral pulled out. That's a real good way to burn your house down because you still got power flowing into it, but nothing's right.
Yeah.
So I said, well, take those meters out, and they came and fixed it the next day, but that was another one of those electrical things.
Yeah.
And thank God, because that house was ready to be closed on.
Yeah.
And thank God it didn't burn. But, that's the thing. It's like there's so many variables that to outlaw gas and propane and make everything electric.
Yeah.
Do you have a real plan that you're going to tell us all about?
Yeah.
Do you going to help the common guy pay for all that?
Yeah.
What's the deal?
I know what you're saying.
We
moved in. You've seen The Money Pit, the movie with Tom Hanks. Right?
Yeah.
This was a money pit. And it got mistreated for decades.
Yeah, well, you're following me, man.
Yeah.
I thought I had a small hole in my foundation.
Yeah.
And I had to pull the deck that was up off. Mm-hmm. And when I pulled it off, 16 feet of sill was completely rotten. Most of it, you could put your hand right through into the basement.
Damn.
The worst 6 foot, Diane pulled out by hand.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah.
So I just seen on Facebook, are you currently painting a house or redoing or something?
No, I tore that deck down.
That was your
fixed
house.
that sill.
Okay.
I rebuilt the deck. I rearranged it. I made it bigger. I made it way more stronger. It's all sealed correctly now.
Yeah.
And then because I did that, I did have to repair some of the joists. And so they had taken down a porch roof maybe 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. So there were like clapboards, but then there was like 2 rows of like 8-inch wide patches.
Yeah.
And a lot of little pieces in that area. So I said, I'm already ripping off the bottom 3 rows. I'm going to take it off to up above the door and just replace it all.
Yeah.
And shout out to Rome General Lumber, Patrick and those guys, because they had the clapboards I needed.
Jesus fixed it.
Jesus fixed it. Yeah. And you know how I gauged that whole job? Whether or not I had to invent swear words.
Oh, no.
And only once did I have to invent swear words. Most of it was pretty good.
He is that bad.
Yeah. Most of it was pretty good. Some of it was just regular old run-of-the-mill swearing.
Yep.
And then there was one occasion where it was invented.
Should I get a hold of Webster?
Not yet. But no, my one buddy Ralph came over, and I worked with him for years, and he, taught me a lot. And he helped me actually frame it because that was a 2-man job. Then Matt McMullen, he came over and helped me put the deck down 2 nights. And then Diane helped out. And
so you had some help.
She knows what she's doing, too.
My wife does, too. She's the man in the relationship.
Hey, man, you want to know what? I have often said about her is, did you ever see Modern Family?
Yes.
Especially when it comes to getting pissed off and we are Cam and Mitchell.
Yes.
I sure as hell ain't Mitchell. She's like always calm, cool, and collected, the stoic Irish lass.
Yes.
And I'm the one who's always like, well, Chen, blah, blah. I'm always the one that's having. Yeah. She literally calls them Trissy fits.
No, Trissy fits.
Because,
Trissolino.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so now we wandered down that road.
Yeah.
But needless to say, I'm middle of the road politically. I don't trust any of them. They're all no good.
Yeah.
Wrapping up that. But anyway.
Let's talk about celebrities real quick.
Okay.
Who is
They're all
most
crazy.
famous celebrity you met, and where did you meet him?
Good question.
Thanks. Kurt.
That is a hard one because you got to go name. All right, biggest name I think I met in the world of rock and roll.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go Neil Young. And I got to meet him back in the 90s backstage at what was then called Great Woods Performing Arts Center down in Mansfield, Massachusetts, right outside of the Boston area.
Yep.
It's something else now. They call it something else now. But Neil was a big name.
Yeah.
But, you know, Eddie Money, I met him in Utica a few times. He was my first ever interview. That was a funny story. He was playing a rainforest preserve at the time.
Yeah.
And Jerry went and picked him up in the middle of a Saturday afternoon and brought him up to the station. I was relatively new. I started in 92. This might have been 93.
Yeah.
And so I was expecting them to come up, get to meet Eddie Money. Then I was going to say, okay, you know, Jerry was going to take over and do the interview.
Yeah.
And Jerry goes, are you ready? Yeah. You want to sit down? He goes, no. It's your show. You do the interview.
Gotcha.
And it was like, no shit. So, you know, he stood on like there was a third mic in the studio and he kind of chimed in, but, you know.
I was scared shitless on mine.
Yeah.
This could be tough.
But, I've met a lot of guys, but I think Neil Young is probably the biggest celebrity.
Okay.
I met Mr. T.
That's awesome.
You know, and it's hard to think because, boy, there have been a lot of them. But a lot of times, you know, I met Phil Simms. I met El Duque, who used to pitch for the Yankees.
Okay.
You know, there's been a lot of them. But a lot of times, too, you're kind of in the room with them.
Yep.
You know, time and again, that's happened.
Yeah.
Ace Frehley, I never met him, but I was standing across the room from him when he played Utica, opening for Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
But it was COVID. We had a flare-up, so they weren't meeting anybody.
Yeah.
But what turned out was he wasn't meeting anybody because when he got to Utica, he got the word that his ex-wife was trying to serve him with papers.
Yep.
And Z told me, I shouldn't say this, but the word I heard was they called up and said, we're almost there. Do you have a back door? Yes, of course we have a back door. Do you have a back door?
Oh.
Back door? Ace, she's trying to serve Ace. We can't come in the regular back door. We got to come in a secret back door. So they did bring him in through a different door. But that's why nobody could go up and say hi to him because you can go up and go, hey, Ace, how you doing? I'm just, bam, you're served.
Yep.
You don't know who's who, so.
Served.
That's
fucked up, actually.
But then I've also interviewed guys on the phone. You know, Alice Cooper, Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull, Paul Kantner from the Jefferson Starship. You know, there's been a lot of them, but Neil would be my biggest one, Kirk.
That answered my next question. Biggest on-air moment.
Oh, shit. I don't know. You know, there's been so many cool things that I don't know, but you know what? I will tell you what it is. I'm going to give you this one because this one blew my mind. Back in 2019, September of 2019, Alice Cooper came to the Stanley. And Ace Frehley opened. That was the time I was talking about with Ace. So I get booked to interview Alice Cooper. Uh-huh. And a year prior to that, around election time, I posted that thing, that fake election sign, Genesee Joe for Omnipotent Dictator.
I want that shirt.
I got to get some made up for this one. Okay. I actually want to talk to the guys down at Seasonal and get some of those signs made up and put them around town.
My girl can make shirts, just to let you know.
Oh, there you go.
Anything you want, you get a hold of me.
All right. So I picked the phone, or I picked the phone up when they call in, and the lady says, is this Joe? Yes, okay, I'm going to put you through to Alice now. It's okay, thank you.
Yep.
Click, click, I hear him. Is this Genesee Joe? Yes, Alice, thank you for being on the show. And Alice Cooper says, when the omnipotent dictator of rock calls, I will always answer.
Yes.
And it was like, how did he know about that, 11? And how did he looked that up.
Yeah.
And then he ended up, well, he told me that his best buddy is Scott Flansburgh, the human calculator who lives down in Herkimer. He's got a lot to do with the Herkimer 9, that basketball team. And Alice has been up here a million times golfing, even when he's not touring. He'll come up this way and tour or golf. And at the end of the thing, he said one of the nicest things, even more so than that blew my mind, that he looked me up on Facebook to see who he was interviewing with, because that says so much that he does that with people he's calling into.
Yeah. That's been done with me.
Oh, yeah, it's real cool. He says, from what I understand, you're doing with radio up there what needs to be done with radio. Good job, keep it up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's a major
fuck! 12. Yeah, no, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Another guy just recently, that it wasn't like as super as cool as that, but I interviewed Rick Wakeman of Yes.
Okay.
Same thing. He was in England, and I call the number. The guy says, I'm going to put you through to Rick now. And I had heard he was like a kind of a surly old Englishman, because he's 75.
Yeah.
So I was a little nervous about it, because it was like, I don't want that shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to that. Pick up the phone, and he's the friendliest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And even more so, the first 4 minutes, we're supposed to have 15. Like, same thing with Alice. Alice went about 25. He went about 20 minutes. We were supposed to have 15. The first 4 minutes, we were talking about each other's pets. He was telling me about his dogs and cats. I was telling him about Buttercup. And then, like, I told him that my other dog used to howl along when I played the harmonica, because we were talking about music. And then he starts making mother-in-law jokes.
Yeah.
And then it was like, that I ended up segueing into, so at least you're in charge when you're on stage, like it will be in Albany coming up in April. But it was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Tony Danza was another good interview.
There you go. I heard he's a real sweet guy.
He was so cool because he was just like he is.
Yeah.
He's just this Italian guy.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about that was every time he said something, he goes, "No, Joe, you got to get Joe." He kept calling me by name, and it was like, wow, that's cool.
I've had that happen.
That's real cool.
I forget who it was, but I've had it happen.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was like, no shit. The guy, is paying enough attention.
Yeah.
So.
Gary Dunes. He called me by Rick a lot.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's a real cool guy.
He's a big fan of you.
He is he's another legend in broadcasting.
Yeah.
I would consider him a friend.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
he is an incredible singer.
Yeah.
And the Deltoons are a great band.
Oh my God.
I
got their
I wish I was half the performer that guy is. Holy shit.
Yeah, we talked about you briefly. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know how many.
I think I did, because you know me, I'm an egomaniac. Yes,
yeah, all right.
Especially if I'm tagged.
So Joe sits in his boxers at night with Cheetos in his beanbag chair, and he watches my show. There you go.
Yeah.
That about cover it? Yeah. So if there's a young guy that wants to be a DJ, what advice would you give him? Would you tell him to run, or?
Yeah, ooh. It's a tricky one now.
Yeah, it is.
It's a tricky one, because I'll tell you, and I'm not talking about the guys that, pros that have retired and now they do some different internet radio stations, because those are big time. But the jobs are not there.
Yeah.
The industry is not what it used to be, and it's the corporation's fault.
Yes.
So for a young guy who wanted to get into it, it's going to be a hobby.
Yep.
You aren't going to make a lot of money. Maybe you can get yourself a weekend shift somewhere, but have a different job.
Yep.
And even me, man, look, I still paint houses and shit.
Yep.
You see that all the time.
Yes. I can't believe that you're still out there doing that kind of stuff. I mean,
I didn't really do it for years. I did it for myself and
you
for the
wouldn't go
family.
to pie for a while.
Yes, remember? I told you. I said when I hit 50, I'm not climbing ladders. Well, that went out the window. but after COVID, when this crazy real estate thing happened, there aren't a lot of young guys who do this. So buddies of mine were saying, well, I've got this painting that needs to be on in a house that's being sold. My realtor buddy got me to do some, one guy got me to do some plumbing and stuff, but I ain't going to paint.
Yeah.
You come and paint it. And then you put it on Facebook, and you put another one on Facebook, and next thing you know, you got people calling you. Yeah. So there.
How the hell did you find time to give me an hour of your time?
Hey, man, you know what? We said we were going to do it before when I really had nothing going on.
Yeah.
And then you got sick.
Oh, man. I did this for 6 months.
Yeah, so it was like, you know what, and there was one other thing, and I apologize. One other thing I had to cancel on you last year.
Hey,
So
Chillin' Fest probably.
yeah, and it was, yeah, and I wanted to come to that, but that is one thing. I sometimes find myself so tired that I ain't going or doing anything.
I get it. I've canceled interviews because of that.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm on an overnight schedule, and this is supposed to be a hobby, but last year I did 50 or 60 of these.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that was overkill, man.
Yep.
So now I limit to myself to 10 every year.
There you go. That's cool. And I really like the live performance things. They sound good.
Coming back in the fall. I
Cool.
pay them, too. They're not coming here for free.
No shit.
No, I pay them. They deserve money. And some, okay, off camera, keep the money. We're just honored that you wanted me here.
Yeah.
That's cool. But I have money waiting.
Well, that's cool.
For free, man.
That is cool.
I mean, why would you work for free?
Hey, you know what? That's a nice way of doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I keep them in business. Poor Justin Smithson was here with laryngitis and trying to sing.
Oh, no shit.
So,
I like that guy so much.
I appreciate him. He's going to be mayor.
Oh, good.
Mayor of Frankfurt. I think.
I honestly think so, too.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm rooting for you, Justin.
Well, he's got a good mind and a good heart.
I went to see them at the gig.
I hate to say this, though. The only thing I think he's got against him with some people would be the fact that he's a musician and he's a performer and entertainer.
Yeah.
I hope that they take him seriously enough to know that there's a whole other part of him.
He's very smart.
Yeah.
I went to see him about a month ago at the gig. I went to see Showtime. Phenomenal. Holy shit. And me and Justin, when we see each other, it's like me and you. We give each other hugs and we just shoot the shit.
Yep.
And I just told him basically, and I started tearing up. I go, I am so fucking proud of you and it ain't even funny. And he got a little emotional too. I go, if anybody deserves to be mayor, it's you. I mean, he's smart as shit.
Yeah. And he's got a good heart and a good mind.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's from Frankfurt and he loves it down there.
Yeah, he does.
And he's the kind of guy that you might want to get. And, you know, I mean, look at Michael Leamy. He's got a hell of a job being the mayor of Utica. Yeah. He's another musician. Well, of course, he was also a businessman, but, you know.
Yeah. Ryan Quinn, I go eat pizza with him.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's a wonderfully nice guy.
He's great.
Gary Johnson should run for mayor of Sylvan Beach.
God, I love Gary Johnson so much.
Because
he tells me he loves me a lot too.
Then it would turn back into the party capital of Central New York the way it was back in the day. Holy
I'll message
shit.
him tonight, and I'm not one of his spam messages that he posts all the time.
Oh my God.
He has a field day with them guys.
He is the prank master.
Yo.
He pranked me so bad one time. I'm not even going to say what he did, but man, he got me. And he was the stealthiest of pranksters.
Yes.
So, but also a phenomenal musician.
Oh my God. I mean,
all-around musician.
Let's talk about that yacht rock Gridley Page is doing. That's catching on.
That's a cool thing.
That is an awesome thing.
I honestly apologize. I haven't got out to see him.
I haven't seen it yet either.
As Jeff Moyer would say, I'm just parking the car.
Me and you got to get together and go see a show out here, Joe.
We will.
Probably a Turning Stone.
Yeah.
Let's go to the gig or something.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll even pay your way in.
You know what I saw at the gig once was cool? Rich Robinson of the Black Crowes did a solo performance there.
Really?
Yeah. Because when we saw he was going to be at the Turning Stone, I figured showroom. And, I just thought of something. And so we went and it was at the gig. And on our first, it wasn't even our first date. The first night me and Diane hung around, we ended up just driving around. We went up there and we went to the gig.
Yeah.
And then, so it was kind of like a little, in hindsight, it was like a little special place.
Yeah.
But we went and saw Rich Robinson, and he did an acoustic show, and at one time told people that were talking to shut the fuck up. 13! But he did. He was like, you know, and I thought, well, this guy's been dealing with his brother all these years. He knows how to do it.
Yes, he does. And the Moyer brothers, whoo!
Oh.
Jeff gives it to Tim like a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
God, it's funny to watch.
That's another one, going back to that other question. I mean, to me, of the bigger stars that I've met, Bob Weir.
There you go.
I met Bob twice.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Who are you a fan of right now in the local scene that maybe I don't know about? Who's out there that might be new?
You know, I love those Uncle Charlie and the Meatball guys.
Yeah.
The whole band is good. Adam Bishton is such a good harmonica player. The whole band's great, though. Jacob, the sax player that plays with he doesn't play with them, I'm sorry. He plays with Jake Lozo's band, but Jake's another one. That band is really good. Like I said, Rattlesnake Trio, I haven't seen them per se, but I know Jeremy is a phenomenal young guitar player. There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
You know?
So I gotta
Everything else, I'm pretty sure you know who they are,
Yeah.
but you know.
I've had a lot of people on my show over 6 years.
But one thing I will say is since COVID, many young musician bands have showed up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that before then. And I've said this, I think, on your show before. You know, it was a bunch of old bastards like me.
Yeah.
and now I'm not doing anything, but all these young kids are out there, so.
I always appreciate any time I get to spend with you, Joe. I cherish it. I wish I didn't only see you once a year.
You know who you really should get up here one day is Devin from the Uptown Theater.
Okay.
Because, you know, I guess their main room is about ready to go.
All right.
But he has gotten a nice little scene with comedy there because that's his thing. He was a comedy writer in L.A. But he also opens up that front area and they do like original music and they do more hard bands, but they get good crowds and they get good bands. That Career Mode and Handsome Bob was playing there before for a while, but
I've reached out to him.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a cool guy.
I'm on standby.
There you go.
He's a busy guy.
Yep.
Yeah. I think this is your 5th or 6th time on my show, and I'm always worried, like, what are me and Joe going to talk about? But you always got shit to talk about.
There's always something to talk about.
Yeah. So, Kurt, I asked all your questions. Thank you for the questions, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Those are good questions.
Yeah. I reach out to him, you know, if I get stuck.
Yeah, I like it. That's one thing I like doing when we do the Facebook Live thing is Ask Genesee Joe.
Yeah.
Now, I hadn't done that for a while. We just did it maybe a month ago, but it's a lot of fun because people come up with good questions.
I'm going to give you shit. I've chimed in on your lives. You've acknowledged everybody but me sometimes.
Oh, shit. How dare I?
So that's me giving you shit.
You know what, though? But I will make sure I don't do that again. The Facebook Live thing pays off good. Yes. Because Matt now has embraced it. Now we're doing A to Z, so last Friday and this Friday he won't be doing the 90s at noon. But he came up with that, you know, he likes that 90s stuff a lot.
Yeah.
And he said, what if we did more of that? So we started doing a rock block to kick off Friday. And then it was like, you know what? This is going good. I said, let's make it the whole hour.
Yeah.
And I told him to pick. Do you want to do a rock block every day or you want to do just Friday? And he said, let's just do 1 hour on Friday. All 90s stuff. But it's the classic bands, because a lot of classic bands put out great stuff in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's the grunge bands that you would think of. It's the jam bands like the Fishes and the Moes, because that's all stuff from the 90s. And then there was like a shitload of these cool one-hit things like, you know, Shaw Blades Band and Damn Yankees. There were some super groups in the 90s. Then there's stuff like Ian Moore and, you know, those guys that they were bringing in to try and replace after we lost Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
But Matt does that 90s at noon, and he does it live on Facebook. And it's cool because a lot of people like to watch along.
Yeah. Go live on Facebook more, Joe. I know you're busy.
Yeah, I should. I really should.
Yeah. You got to get your name out there. People might not know who you are.
Yeah, well, you know the other thing, and I really don't. After all the photos I posted of myself, like out walking the dog and shit, but a lot of times when I go to work, especially if I know that there's no guests coming in, man, I definitely don't look like I'm at work.
Yeah.
I'm dressed like, you know.
You're in your socks.
I am in my socks all the time at work.
Yeah.
Now I'm not.
Yeah. No.
But
these shoes here.
yeah, no, you know what? And I do that all the time. A lot of people don't realize that. I take my shoes off almost immediately when I get to work.
Yep. And you're right at home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your second home. That's safe to say.
Oh, hell yeah. The funny thing, and this has happened more than a few times, like Superstorm Stella, it definitely happened, but we've had other big storms where, funny little thing about the Brock building, especially the third floor, is it's either one of two temperatures in the winter. 9 or 900.
There you go.
So there have been times where I've gone up there and like gotten really wet from like snow or something, and you know, or just like it's freezing out, so I'll put long johns and jeans on and a long sleeve shirt with a t-shirt over it. And it was great during COVID, and after that when there wasn't a lot of people around, because it'd be up there and be like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
So off come the jeans, off comes the t-shirt, off comes the long sleeve shirt, back on with the t-shirt.
Yeah.
And especially like on some of those days where we've had like heavy snowstorms where everybody was home, it's like I'm walking around in my long johns.
Yeah.
Because it's a second home.
Yep.
Yep.
I can tell you're very comfy up there. And you're going room to room to room like you always got something going on.
Yeah, I'm
I was
constantly.
shadowing you that day when I was doing my interview.
Yep.
We got to talk about food too before you go.
Oh, we'll definitely talk about
We were
food.
supposed to open with that, but
Yep.
we're too grumpy old men.
Yes, we are.
So anyway, there's a famous story that Z made famous. I went out and did his show, and then I went and did your show.
Yeah.
Within an hour of each other.
Yep.
To promote season 5 of Chillin' back then.
Yep.
And I went to the Olive Garden, which is takeout for Italian food. But I
Yep.
like it out in Syracuse.
Hey, listen, I've been there. You know what I mean?
And I ended up getting COVID.
No shit.
After I did your show, I went to Olive Garden to eat. I come home, I didn't feel good. And
Actually, from the Olive Garden, you got Covito.
COVID with mozzarella.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah.
Man.
I ended up getting COVID.
Yep. So, what'd you do for Memorial Day, speaking of food?
I worked.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. We had the family over basically Sunday. And, boy, it was our first time. First of all, nobody would come to the old house because nobody would go to that neighborhood, even though they all lived in it at one time or another. So now everybody came over and talk about making too much food.
Yeah.
I'm going to have hot dogs and hamburgers, and, my sister made some stuff and brought it up, and we're going to have macaroni salad and Italian potato salad and all
I
that
had
shit.
2 Hoffmans tonight.
Oh.
Love Hoffmans.
Man.
Yeah.
Like, people brought desserts, people brought cakes. I don't know why I bought another lemon cake because, and it's just like, how ridiculously over.
Joe.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And I'm embarrassed because a couple of years ago at this time, I was down to like 205. I'm back up to 222.
You know what?
I was a good cook.
My weight goes up and down. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
I get busy and I don't get a chance to go, do the hardcore exercise at the gym and then walk the dog later at night. I mean, there's not enough time in the day, and I wrestle with that.
Yeah.
How do I get all of this shit done
Yes.
and not blow up like a house? Because, to quote Jim Gaffigan, I eat my feelings. And I know it's wrong, but goddamn it, they're delicious.
I'm going to have ice cream as soon as you leave.
There you go. Well,
And then you got me, Joe, do my show.
now check it out. Now, I know you got some places out here, and I got a Burn Dairy who always has good ice cream, but
Yeah.
I discovered
It's my backyard.
Stewart's.
Yes. Yeah.
There's one, what's it called? Happy Camper.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Graham cracker flavored with marshmallow and little teeny peanut butter cups and chunks of graham cracker in it.
And Joe's like this.
It's crack. It's not graham crackers, it's crack.
You could be on real crack, so you're doing good.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's how we gauge everything in life. Well, I could be on real crack.
Could be messed up too, but
Yep.
you're not. So give me some top 3 restaurants out in Utica that maybe people should check out. I know they always change all the time.
They do always change, and this could change every. One place I'm wicked stuck on right now.
Yeah.
You can go there and buy meats and meat products, or you can buy pre-made food. And I went down there and bought all the burgers, and like they had artisan hot dogs. A place called Bassone's
Okay.
Meat and Sausage Company on Bleecker Street. Old school, real cool.
All right.
That food is great. Some of the other ones we've been hitting lately. We discovered an old standby. Once again, in East Utica place, Ventura's. Love Ventura's.
Okay.
God, it's such a hard question to answer because there's so many of them. You know what I mean?
I think somebody talked to you about this. That's how I got the idea. It's like, I want to see what Joe eats when he goes out.
One of the
And are
other
you a cheap bastard?
sorta, but not too much when it comes to going out to dinner.
Yeah.
Cacciators, we ate down there. They're down in Ilion.
Yeah.
We ate there when we did the comedy show, but his food is phenomenal.
Yep.
Dory. Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Shit, there's so many of them.
Take that DJ money, go out and bring Lady Di out for a nice dinner.
Well, there you go.
Don't be stingy.
You know me well, my friend. You know me well.
Yeah. Anything left to promote, or are we still going to talk about food?
No, I think we're good, man.
Okay, man.
Yep. You know another one though? I've eaten there a few times. Piggy Pat's is always good.
Piggy Pat's.
Yep.
I think Max plays there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Max plays there often.
He's another one. I really like that guy.
He was here singing.
Yeah. He's great.
I got all the top 5 guys to come here, man.
Have you had Bill Ali?
He's a funny one. Okay. He's been in Oneida a few times. The interview I did with him, there was a bunch wrong with it. My alarm was going off on my phone that I forgot that. It was just and I go, Bill, I can't post this. It's fucking horrible. Not that he was playing a song and forgot the words. I was flubbing up everything. It was just a horrible interview. We were gonna redo it. He was scheduled to come here. He canceled on me 3 times.
Oh.
I canceled on him once.
Yep.
So we're in limbo.
I had seen him when he was with the band, Scars and Stripes.
He's super busy.
And I had run across him a few times, and I said, "Wow, this guy can sing." I honestly didn't know his name.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Holy shit, that big guy from that band."
He ain't big anymore.
No, but he's tall. He's my height.
Yeah.
Wow, that guy can really sing.
Yes, he can.
And so I had met him a few times. He knew who I was, and I knew him as a singer from that band.
Yeah.
But then last year we were going to go to Cape Cod for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So her cousin and his daughter were supposed to be there. So I bought 4 tickets for the Red Sox versus Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
Her cousin, come from California, says, "Well, it turns out I'm not getting there till the next day." So I said, "Shit, what am I going to do with these 2 tickets?" So roundabout, I asked on Facebook, does any local Red Sox fans want a couple of tickets to the game? You're literally going to be sitting next to us. And one of my other musician buddies said, "Hang on, Bill Ali," tagged him. And Bill was at the game before.
Yes.
Because he's a huge Braves fan.
Huge.
And he said, "I'll take them."
Huge wrestling fan, too.
Mm-hmm. So we ended up sitting with him and his daughter. And now that's how I really got to know him.
Yeah. He's a wonderful guy.
Oh, he really was.
He's
But busy.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys, and it's easier to do it out in Syracuse, I know. He's one of the guys who does make a living as a musician.
He does.
But that does not leave you a lot of free schedule time.
Yeah.
And
I think that's why he canceled. Something came up. Oh, I got this. And
if you've got half a dozen gigs, doing an interview show and singing, you've got to decide where you're going to use that.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get to the last half of the 5th gig and be like, "Fuck my voice."
Yeah.
Trust
me, I'm going through that now, but not sing.
Well, no, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things, like when we did the Slug show last year in December, it was weird because having not played in a long time, I was getting tired by the end. Bob the drummer was getting tired by the end.
Yeah.
And, your voice is a muscle. So not having really sang in 3.5 years, even though I only had 1 song in that set, in those sets, it was like, holy shit, man. I did it okay, but...
I've coughed every day multiple times for 6 months.
Oh, God, that
My voice
sucks.
is shot. It's a wonder I'm even still talking now.
All right, well, we can stop, because...
No, we're good.
Yeah. But I do appreciate you having me on.
It's an honor.
Yeah. And it's funny, but I am going to have to go back because, the dog needs to be walked at night.
Daughter's got to go.
She's only 2. She's got to go. She gets wound up.
I enjoy the play date videos.
Those are great.
Yes.
Those are great. I didn't get video of this, but the last one we had when they were all muddy.
Yeah.
At one point in time, they're running around the backyard. It's all fenced in. I was in the garage trying to straighten something out. And I hear clunk, 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 splish, clunk, clunk. They jumped off the deck before I put the railings up into the pool. They were on the pool cover. Now she jumped out, but now her sister is like kind of towards the middle on the pool cover. And I'm like, don't get wrapped up in the pool cover.
Please.
Don't get wrapped up in the pool cover because then I got to go in there and get you.
Yeah.
But luckily, Angel ran across.
Good.
But they are crazy
funny
when they're together.
I enjoy them videos the most.
Yep.
Yep.
They run back and forth. Somehow one would The other one's had in their mouth, then they switch. Oh my God.
Joe, I love
Mr.
you like
Rick,
your brother, man.
thank you.
Yes.
Glad you're doing okay. You're going to be fine.
I'm
Just,
gonna be fine.
you know,
Take that inhaler once a day.
take that inhaler, walk.
Yep.
Watch out with the environmental stuff.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people make fun of the masks and all
I
that,
wear
but
the
for stuff
N95
like,
at work.
yeah, for stuff with being around dusty
yeah.
shit, don't be afraid of the mask.
Because they told me if you don't wear the N95 at work, you're gonna be right back up here.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I have to.
man. And how old are you now?
47.
Yeah, see, you're 9 years younger than me, but you don't bounce back as quick as you used to, and shit that wouldn't bother you in the past now bothers you.
See, I'm a man. I don't like to go to the doctor. I don't know if you.
I don't like to do that shit either.
Now the check engine light's on. You gotta go.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I went because they're like, you have moderate to severe COPD. It's a good thing you're here.
Yeah. And it's all treatable, and as
Yeah.
time goes on, they make medicines for everything.
My buddy Sam Vecchio. I don't know if you know who Sam is.
I do know who he is.
He has minor COPD. He's on an inhaler too.
Yep.
Totally reversed his symptoms. He has nothing,
Wow.
but he still has to
See-
take the inhaler.
Now, I've got the inhaler, but I only use it when I need it. So now I've got my appointment coming up, my regular checkup, which, dude, once you get to be our age, once you get to be in your late 40s,
Yeah.
go to those regular checkups.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him if I should, take 2 shots every morning.
No. I went to Dollar General with my wife Sunday morning, and it was humid out. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't experienced the humidity yet with my breathing issues. I walked out of Dollar General, it took my breath right away.
Yeah,
And I
man.
carry my inhaler with me. I go, honey, it's been 4 days since I take the inhaler. I was pissed off I had to take it, but it took my breath away.
Well, and that's another thing. It seemed like the other day it hit me, and I don't know if it was the COPD stuff, but
You get shortness of breath?
once in a while, yeah.
Oh, it's scary.
But I walked out of an air-conditioned store
Yep.
into the hot weather,
That's what happened to
and
me.
it hit me like a fucking ton of bricks.
That's what happened to me.
14,
Yep.
and yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it was just
Did you bring out the puffer?
from the. I didn't
Oh.
even think of it, but from the cold to the hot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Screwed me right up.
Yeah.
It's literally, they took my breath and just went, and I had nothing. I was,
You know what else? You know what we did too on this house? And it was Diane's idea, and now I'm glad she did it. Have somebody clean all your ducts out before next winter.
yeah, that would be a good idea.
Because the stuff that came out of those ducts, I honestly said, oh, I'm sorry, honey, did we not have that little bit of money that you wanted to not just throw out? No, the shit that came out of those ducts
Yeah.
was insane.
I have 3 little things that go meow. I think they're contributing.
Oh, yeah.
Cat
Mhm.
dander. Oh my God, they
Yep.
lay all over our bed.
Yep.
And I'll lay up there and right out of sound sleep, cough, 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 cough. I'm like, oh my God.
Tango lays right in front of my face, man.
Oh,
I'm a
that's
side sleeper.
dangerous now.
He just lays right, and it's some dates I will wake up. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
I'm slightly allergic to you.
I push my
Get
cats
your
away.
big orange ass out of my face.
I have my gray cat who likes to lay up here on my shoulder, and I like cuddling her like that. And her fur gets in my face, and now all of a
Yeah.
sudden I'm coughing like a son of a bitch.
Oh hell yeah!
So we can't do that anymore. And that
Well-
was one of my favorite things.
Yeah, this is the old Italian goodbye. Now we've talked for another 25 minutes. All right, dude. Thank you very much.
Go walk Butters.
I will. Thank
Joe,
you.
thank
Listen to
you.
92.7 to Drive.
Yes. 92.7 to drive. Genesee Joe, been at it 32 years. Legend.
Legend has it. All right, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, is this hair real?
Yes, it is.
I love you, brother.
Love you, man. Thank you.
Kurt, I asked your questions. Oh, sorry, brother. Sorry. Ah! There we go.
Ta-da!
Ah!